Kitty man, I had a flow. Drip that's water, call that boss. You check my squad and they gon' be in cost. You better be prepared to take a loss. I left my enemies dripping, but it ain't sauce. It ain't sauce. No, it ain't sauce. Yeah, enemies dripping, but it ain't sauce. No, it ain't sauce. No, it ain't sauce. Yeah, enemies dripping, but it ain't sauce. It ain't sauce. It ain't sauce.
Hey guys, it's your boy Oscar Smitty, and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Madam Web, the new movie that just came out with Dakota Johnson. I know I'm a little late on this one. The movie came out, I think, either last week. I'm pretty sure. It did. It came out during Valentine's Day. Yeah. And instead of going to see this movie, I actually went to see Bob Marley. That was the movie I decided to see instead of this movie. I should have kept it that way. But yeah. I'm a little late. I'm a little behind, but you know, your boy been pretty busy. And we also, once again, we saw Bob Marley that week. So, yeah. So, the Madam Web, yeah. This movie, after seeing a movie of this stature, I just want to take the time to apologize to movies that maybe I gave too much. I probably shouldn't have been too hard on them. Fantastic Four, all of them. I was going to just say the one with Michael B. Jordan in it, but I'm going to just say all of them. Maybe in the past I was a little too hard on it, especially the one with Michael B. Jordan in it. Maybe I was a little too harsh, Maybe I was overthinking a little bit, Maybe I was too harsh, Ang Lee's Hulk, maybe there was some things in the movie that I actually need to go back and watch and probably forgive, maybe there's some things about myself that I needed to learn when watching that movie, Another movie is Catwoman, Catwoman, wow, Catwoman with Halle Berry, maybe that movie is not, maybe it's not as bad as I thought it was, let me see. Maybe, it's actually really a really good piece of film history, maybe it really is a good movie, and I was just too, I was too blinded, I was being over critiquing. Yeah, forget it, this movie is ass. This movie is shit. This is going to be a little quick one. I don't really have too much to say. You pretty much got everything, the fans, literally everyone. Like, regardless if you believe in Rotten Tomatoes or not, or whatever critics or not, the critics and the fans both have spoken. You can go look at the ratings for your movie yourself. You can look at the box office scores. I went to a theater today. I went to see, my friend and I, we bought this ticket. We went to see this movie in IMAX. When I tell you there was only 5 people in the theater, and that's including us, so technically it's 3. There's only 5 people in the theater. This movie is that bad. Like, they're like, bro. This movie is so bad that literally this movie takes you back to the days before we could buy tickets on our phone and buy stuff in advance. This movie is taking me back to where I literally had to walk to the theater and buy the ticket in person. Because that's how empty it was. Like, I could literally do that. This movie is bad. And the thing about it is, the movie, it's not like with Venom or like Morbius, where it was like, okay, Venom's like, the movie's bad, but the movie is kind of still having fun, Morbius, it's still, excuse me, there we go. it's still having fun. You know, you can still have a good time. This movie wants you to believe every single thing in it. It wants you to take this movie as serious as possible. Like, you know, Madam Web is really our Lord and Savior. Like, this shit is awful. And the crazy part about it is there is a small few. There are some people defending this movie and giving it ratings like a 7 or 8 out of 10. And to those people out there, I want you to do me a favor. Go to the supermarket, buy a big gallon of bleach, and drink the whole thing. That's what I want you to do. I want you to drink the whole thing. Matter of fact, I want you to blind yourself like how Madam Web does in this movie. I want you to do that because I don't know what you were smoking or what movie you was watching, but this shit is bad. This shit makes Morbius feel like The Dark Knight. That's how bad this movie is. I haven't watched a bad movie like this in a long time. A long time. What my friend asked me what's the worst movie I saw in theaters. I couldn't even answer because this is that movie. This is the worst movie I have seen in theaters in a long time. This might actually be the worst movie I have seen in theaters. This movie is that bad. Let me give you some little things on why the movie is bad. Okay. Where can I start? I think the best part about this movie, well, yeah, let's start with the pros. Yeah. I think the best part about this movie is when it ended. I think it's when it ended and I realized there are no end credit scenes, there are no post credit scenes. Yeah, there's no spoiler section. Fuck the spoilers. You don't go and see the movie. Half of you already have it. So kudos to you. I was one of the poor souls that decided to go see it because, you know, you always got to have your doubts. Maybe the movie maybe people are just tripping. No, this is, and I get let down every single time. This movie is bad. This movie is really bad. Like, awful. Awful. Now for the cons, since I basically told you the pros. Okay. For one, let me get this straight. This movie is technically about... Now, I know there's a version of Madam Web like this in the comics where she wears a jacket and whatnot, and she's younger. But the thing about it is, nobody wanted to see this version of Madam Web. No one cares about this younger version of Madam Web. I don't care who you are. None of us care about this. And let's be honest here. Let's be completely honest here. Most of us, probably like 85% of us only know Madam Web because of two things. Either you played Spider-Man Shattered Dimensions or because you watched Spider-Man the animated series. If we're being completely honest, those were our introductions to this character. And those were really the only adaptations of the character that we really gave a shit about, if we're being completely honest. Now, there are some people that read the comics and whatnot and went and dug a little deeper into Madam Web. But if you ain't do nothing involving the multiverse or watch the animated series or played Shattered Dimensions, you don't know zilch about Madam Web. You don't know nothing. You could care less. Me, like those people, I literally wanted Madam Web just to be someone that was affiliated with Peter, Spider-Man in the movies. I never in my history ever said, you know what? I want a Madam Web movie. I want a whole movie dedicated to Madam Web. I never said that. Never. No one has ever said that. And if you have, jump off a bridge. No one has ever said that. Like, we really wanted a Madam Web to just be like a support character for Peter in one of his Spider-Man movies, not a whole movie dedicated to him. That's the first thing. The next thing is, when you really think about it, this movie boils down to the fact that Madam Web was literally born in a cave full of spider people, and she doesn't start having visions until she's older, of course, and she literally saves 3 random teenage girls from dying from getting killed by a evil Spider-Man ripoff. And there's a whole bunch of Pepsi sponsors in this movie. Yeah, just to let you know, when you watch, if you ever do decide to put yourself through this torture, this movie is basically an ad because the final scene is at a Pepsi factory. The girls always are drinking Pepsi. Madam Web herself drinks Pepsi. Ben Parker drinks Pepsi. Everyone, when they go to May Parker's baby shower, they drink Pepsi. You know, it's just a whole fucking Pepsi commercial. Yeah, it's just a whole Pepsi commercial. I don't know why. Yeah, that's another thing. For some odd reason, they decided that, you know, it's an origin story, right? We don't need to have them wear their costumes. What the fuck? Like, we don't need to have them wear their costume. Let's have them only have 2 scenes. And by the way, these 2 scenes are freaking. These scenes take place in the future, which we're not in. And one scene, yeah, both of these scenes are in a future tense to which we're not there yet. And they haven't even gotten their powers. And by the way, we also don't even know how they get their powers. So, it does, but who cares? It doesn't matter. You see their costumes for like if you blink like this, like you literally just keep blinking like this, that's how quick you see their costumes. Their costumes are like, it's like 2 scenes. Actually, no, it's 1 scene because they literally just show the same scene that they show when the villain was having like a flash. He was having like a memory. He was like getting like futures. Like, okay, he went to sleep. He went to sleep after having sex. He got a nightmare in the future tense of 3 girls that were going to kill him. That's the Spider-Woman. Of them in the future trying to kill him. And it's all 3 of them standing like this at the end of the dream. And then at the end of the movie, they show that exact same scene, but this time they put Madam Web in it. And it's like a little bit of them like fighting, and then that's it. It's like 10 seconds. It's literally like 10 seconds. It's not even, and those are the only 2 scenes. This entire movie, these 3 chicks don't do shit but run around, flirt with some boys, get food, and try not to die. They're like literally just like they don't do anything. They're like their existence is like it's pointless. Like what are they? Madam Web, like. It's like so many, like, I just went off track. Like, it's so many bad things with this movie. I wouldn't be able to tell you everything. Like, you can literally sit there and find everything. This movie reuses scenes. There are moments in the movie where the main villain is talking, but his lips aren't moving. There's a moment where Madam Web, where she's talking, but her lips aren't moving. Like they're both making like that type of face, but their lips aren't moving. And I'm sitting here like that got in. Like you didn't see that when you was cutting up the film. You didn't see these mistakes. Like this man is, and it's like in broad daylight too. Like this man is clearly not talking, and you have like words just supposed to be coming out of his mouth. And he's not talking. And then I'm not even going to they try to act like no one would know this, like no Spider-Man fan would know this. They literally reused a scene from Spider-Man 2. And I'm sitting here like, bro, how stupid do you think we are? We're not dumb. We're not dumb. We know if you watch Spider-Man 2, I'm pretty sure because most Spider-Man fans all love Spider-Man 2 and have watched that movie 1,000 times. We know the scenes. You took a scene from Spider-Man 2. Why? A movie that was 20 years ago? Like what are we, like what is happening? What are we doing? Like why are we like this? Sony, listen to me. Listen to me. Okay? I want you to hear clearly, okay? Stop making spin-off movies. Stop it. Stop it, please. You're ruining everything, okay? You butchered me with Venom, okay? A character that I love. You made a terrible Morbius movie, which, once again, with Morbius, most of us only know Morbius from Spider-Man the Animated Series. And don't sit here and lie to me and say that you are a big fan of Morbius, because no one is a big fan of Morbius. Nobody. That is, and if you are, we need to talk about what your priorities are, because there's no way one of your favorite characters is Morbius. There's no way. There's no way. Sony, stop making spinoffs. And the worst part about it is, when the movie ends, there are no end credit scenes. That's one. But the worst part about it is you realize they're making a Kraven the Hunter movie. They're supposed to make a Silk movie. And then you're supposed to make other movies like Black Cat and fucking Silver Sable. And it's just like, why? Why are we doing this? And it's bad enough that Sony and Marvel are already having a feud right now because Sony wants to make another multiversal movie and the MCU wants to make like a grounded level hero movie, but Sony wants to push out another Spider-Man movie because clearly their own movies aren't doing shit. So I'm just sitting here like, what is Sony? Just give it up. Please. Please. But then again, they won't give it up. And to their credit, I probably wouldn't give it up either. Spider-Man is a big money maker. I probably would make shitty movies too. Honestly, I probably would make a bunch of shitty movies. Shit, for hell. I probably might make a Vulture movie. Matter of fact, no, I might not even make a Vulture movie. I might make a Hammerhead movie and make it a prequel and make it about his origin story. Hell, because clearly they ain't. This is what we're making now. They're not going to ever give up the rights. And honestly, I can't really be mad at them. I'll probably would make shitty movies too. But in this moment in time, Sony, give it up. Please, just give it up. Just give it up. You know, clearly it's not working out. These movies are garbage. The movie is so bad, Dakota Johnson decided to fire her own agent. Dakota Johnson claims nothing of this movie anymore. She claims she's never even watched it. So clearly, if that's not enough to you to let this movie go and let this whole Sony universe and just give it up, Sony, I don't know what is, because this is ridiculous. We can't keep doing this. This has to stop, please. Because if I have to watch Kraven the Hunter and that movie is worse than this, I'm gonna scream. Matter of fact, I heard something about a sequel being made to this movie. If this movie gets a sequel, but we didn't get a freaking sequel for freaking Man of Steel, but this movie gets a sequel, I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna scream if this movie. If anything else happens, I'm gonna lose my shit because this is bad. This is a travesty. Don't stop it. Don't make any more movies after Kraven. Just wait, please, please. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will catch y'all on the next one. Peace.